A lot of it is listening.
We can't legislate people's hearts.
Sometimes being part of the conversation is so challenging that people avoid it altogether.
But we can't check their behavior.
Speak out on the truth.
We need to come together and figure out how to have these conversations.
Validate who you are.
When people bring in different ideas,
They want your attention.
different thoughts, that solutions are better.
Welcome to the show designed to bring your voice to the table by engaging in discussions about those things that affect you in the city of Louisville, the issues that matter. Here's your host, James Linton.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
If you are just waking up, you're listening to one of the baddest podcasts in America, Community Connections Group podcast. James Linton and Friends. I'm one of the hosts. My name is James Linton.
I'm the one and only Stacy Sewell.
I'm Paisha Adonis.
What up? 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 I'm Bruce Ray.
That's Bruce Ray, y'all.
Yeah, what was that on the end right there? Right, he had to get it all out.
He was
Man,
trying
how's
so
everybody
hard.
doing?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Everybody doing pretty well?
Yeah,
All
beautiful
right.
afternoon.
Hold
We're
on.
hanging
Let
in
me
there.
transform. Everybody knows when I put these glasses on.
Oh, boy.
It not only triggers my brain, but it reminds me back when I was in college and I was on that pole doing a little dancing.
Big
Back in the
pimpin'
old
over here.
days. Chocolate Thunders back in the house. Big Mo, big sexy, big smooth. I'm here.
You here?
So
That's
how's
how you
everybody
met
feeling?
Bruce.
How's everybody feeling? Everybody all right?
Hey, I'm good.
Man, we got a lot going on. We got
Beautiful
two
Sunday
great guests here today.
in Louisville, Kentucky.
My man Jimmy Ray. What's happening, brother? Say hello.
What's the deal, Pickle?
All right there. All right there. All right.
Say it one more time. Remember what was what?
That was smooth, bro.
That was.
What's the deal, Pickle?
That's what I'm
What's the
talking
deal,
about.
Pickle?
And sitting in on the
Hope
other
your day
side.
is kosher.
Yeah, I like that. Miss Angela Parker, better known as AP. How you doing, AP?
Good afternoon, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Both you guys look sharp, like you just came from
Yes.
church.
Big buddy.
Looking good. If I knew you both gonna wear black, I'd have put something on darker too.
Yeah.
Just to
I know,
coordinate.
you wanted to be
need
seen
just to
today.
coordinate.
We all know you.
Now, I
wanna-
went and bought this shirt.
Mo went and bought a new shirt for the podcast.
I bought this
today.
shirt for the podcast because last week Bruce's shirt was matching mine, and I need for Fantasia to be able to see me. Fantasia, don't look at Bruce. Bruce is not here. Big Mo's
Juice.
right here.
No, don't look.
Don't look at Bruce.
Do not look at Bruce Fantasia
Yeah.
because I'm not Big Mo. I got pimp juice.
But everybody doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Hey, man, thank
Yeah.
you guys for joining us today, man. And as usual, man, we have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to
going
cover.
on.
But I want to talk about Super Tuesday. I want to talk about, real quick, before we interview anybody, I want to talk about Joe Biden's speech the other night. And all of America is talking about the fact that this man is a senior. He's 82 years old. And now is he too old to be president?
Well,
We clearly saw the other night from the speech, he was full of vigor. He was full of power. He delivered a message to the Republican Party. He delivered a message to Donald Trump that he is in for the long haul.
yeah.
He's ready for the fight. And that was the first time I've seen Joe that fired up in a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
It was,
yeah,
it was
speaking
amazing.
so
speech.
clearly.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yes. It was amazing.
Well,
it was amazing to
like,
see that.
I'm a Biden fan. I mean, I think Joe Biden's a good human being in general, but I think there does need to be a term on ages across the board.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
Man.
I mean, that's
Trump
the
isn't
Senate,
around his
that's
age. He's
everything
younger.
else.
Trump is younger, but he's about his age. He's
Not much younger, right? He's
Yeah,
right
yeah,
with
he's
there
in
with
his
them.
mid-70s.
But the
isn't he?
thing about it, it's just like everything else. What age got to do with it?
Well,
What age
if
got
you
to
can
do
do the
with
job.
it? If you can do the job and you can run the country, do the job and run the country.
But-
and he's doing
but
the
I-
job and running the country.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I 100% agree, like, with what you're saying, but Like look at the House right now. We have people who are
been in there for
forever.
30, 40 years.
Oh, well, let's
they
start
don't have
right.
open communication.
Let's start right
I
with
mean,
Mitch McConnell,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
represents the state of Kentucky,
Who looks like he's
hates,
dead.
Hold on now, who hates Donald Trump, but because of who he is, endorsed him 3 days ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, this is a man that said that Donald Trump was a horrible person, and then turned around and endorsed him.
Right.
So what
That
does that
says a
say?
lot, don't it?
What does that say about your character? What does that say about who you are as a person? But, because when you're just voting a party and not voting what's best for the American people.
Well, what does that say about the state that we live in? Kentucky. What did that say about us for keep on voting and reelecting and
this
reelecting?
is the thing. The reason why Mitch McConnell keeps getting in is because when you go to some of these small counties back in the woods, one thing they're going to do is they're going to make sure that they people go and vote. They will pile all them up in the little pickup truck and drive them there. They can barely read and write. But because their ancestors voted Republican, they'll vote Republican, even though they're living in shacks and have outhouses, don't even have running water. But yet they will still make sure they go to those polls and vote. We got to understand that every time Mitch McConnell has won, it wasn't because of Jefferson County or Lexington or Bowling Green. It was the small counties that got him to win. And so they believe in that. That's something they believe in. If that's what my people vote, that's what they do.
Let me ask the question, okay? Why don't black people, Latino Americans, Spanish Americans, poor people, young people, why don't we vote? It's enough people in this country. If everybody would go to the polls, we haven't had excitement at the polls since President Obama ran.
Right.
Okay, hadn't had any energy at the polls. People don't vote. We register people every year. We go on these voter registration campaigns all across the country, and people don't show up at the polls. People don't vote. Why is it not important? And we just go around the room and have a little friendly conversation. Why is it not important for people to vote?
I don't know if they view it as not important as it is suppression. When you're constantly put down for who you are, when you feel like your voice is not heard, lots of times you stop trying. And one thing I think over the past few elections that did prove that the urban community does have a voice when you show up and vote. Because there's been a lot of swing states that won because the urban community stepped up and voted. And it also brings on the other tactics that we know happens around election time is voting areas.
Well, they try to suppress your vote all around the country.
Yes.
We see that each and every time
time.
it's time to vote. But what I'm saying as a whole, when the numbers are showing right here in Kentucky, 39% of people show up for the polls. Those kind of numbers are staggering to me because you have to take an interest. Everything you do, buying a home, buying a car, getting your streets swept, the street lights, everything that happens in your world has to do with somebody making a decision, whether it's local metro council here in Louisville, Kentucky, whether it's the state senators up in Frankfort, or if it's your Congress people up in Washington, D.C., and your president.
I think it's a mixture of things, man.
People have to vote.
I think it's a combination of things. We as a people think that because I heard that they don't do nothing for black people. What do you do for black people?
That's the dumbest thing you could ever say to me.
But that's what they think.
That's the way their
But that's
mindset
the
is.
dumbest
Yeah.
thing in the world. AP Jimmy Ray, talk to me. Why is that the cop out? Because you got to vote. If you don't vote,
That's
you
the
shouldn't complain
cop-out.
about anything.
But
That's the
before y'all
truth.
speak, I just want to say, because you're right, Bruce, and I get so sick and tired of hearing people say, well, it doesn't matter. My vote don't count anyway.
Yeah,
Your vote do count.
Yeah, it does count
Because
when
a lot
somebody
of
loses
people-
by 10 votes.
There we go, Mo.
Yeah, there you go.
When someone's losing by a very small margin.
Yep.
I feel like that the people that are running need to hit the streets like in the old days, go door to door, remind people of the importance of the elections.
And they do that.
Not all the time.
Yeah, they no. Let me tell you, with social media out there,
I've never had anybody knock on my door.
really.
No.
When I ran for office in 1996, okay, I was running for 12th ward against a guy by the name of Paul Bather, right here in Louisville, Kentucky, who ended up beating me by 700 votes. Right, had never run for office. I just came back from the Million Man March and decided I was going to jump in the race at the last minute, and would have beat him. At the last minute, he told all the senior citizens, because the seniors vote like clockwork, that if Linton wins this race, because I worked on the Million Man March committee, helping put that march together behind the scenes. If Linton wins this race, then Louis Farrakhan is going to run the city of Louisville, and it scared him to death. So that last 700 people voted for him, but it was a great learning experience for me, because after that, I became the chairperson for the Boys and Girls Club, and we built a youth center over in Jewel Park at that time. And so that opened up many other doors to make me who I am today. So it was a great experience. But people, Jimmy Ray, people do not vote. People do not go to the polls. I don't know what will inspire them to go to the polls. You guys got to help me out today.
Well, maybe if we had more energy and attention being placed on policy over politics, we might get a little bit more traction. Especially when you talk about the young people, because some of us may not care too much about the politics. We care about policy and the policy's impact.
Well, one of the things I think, if you put the money where the money supposed to go, you asking people to come and vote for you, and you making all these promises that what you gonna do for the community, and it never happens. They never see it. So that's where they come that's where they think that they vote don't count. Why vote if you don't do what you say you gonna do?
Okay, let me respond from a different perspective for them to answer that question. First of all, politicians are going to lie.
All the time.
They're going to lie. If their mouth is moving, they're lying, okay? The second thing is, when do people start putting their own candidates in the race? Because if you're using that excuse not to vote, then put your cousin in the race. Put somebody in the race that you trust. But you have to vote. You have to be a part of the process. You have to be at the table. So help me out, somebody. Peja?
Well, some of it also, I think, falls on us showing the youth to vote. Like, I take all my 3 kids, we stand in line, and they watch me vote, hoping that they see when they turn 18, this is what you do. This is what you're expected to do as a citizen. You know, like you were saying, with really know your policies versus the politics and everything else is so true, because you know, we've seen a lot of changes even here in the state of Kentucky this past year with things that are trying to be passed. And, you know, if you understand who you're voting for, you understand the direction either the country's going, the state's going, or whatever. So you've got to be educated, and you've got to show up and be an example, because if you never vote, why would your child vote? They think it doesn't make a difference.
My granddaughter, she just turned 18, and she told me the other day that she realizes the importance of her voting this year for the first time. She's seen politics, and she's seen it on TV and heard it, and she knows that her parents and grandparents vote. And I've told them the history of how our black forefathers died for the right for us to vote.
Ooh, say that again. Ooh.
So she knows that it's up to the younger generation to come forward.
Yep, and let's piggyback off that. Let's talk about Roe versus Wade this year. As a female, you need to get out and vote.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is a huge step back in our health.
It won't be long. You're going to have to fill out the application to have a baby.
Yeah.
You have to fill out the application to have sex.
Yep,
You
exactly.
know, so where's this country headed to?
Well, and this is the thing. Folks, we're responsible for the people that's in office.
Yep.
It is what it is. We are voting these folks in. They're coming in here. They're changing laws that do not benefit us as women. How can a bunch of men decide and tell you what to do with your body?
Hey, you know what? That's the thing that just knocks me out the park. That why would you let old white men tell you as a woman what should happen to you as a woman. How do we know the pains and the struggles you go through 9 months carrying a child? We ain't no way we can find them at.
All right, and go ahead.
You know, I was told that the letter, the hand of writing the letter is more powerful than the spoken word, and it is true. People need to get out, write to their congressperson, to their representative in numbers.
And most people don't even know who they are.
Well, you can find out.
No, I'm saying that they don't care to find out, because I asked somebody last week that was down at the school, did you know who your Metro Council person was? They were like, no, what is that?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, dude, you almost 50 years old and don't even know who your Metro Council person is? Come on.
Yep.
Let's get it together.
Right, but what I'm hearing is there's no relationship. There's nothing to tie in the person in the relationship between that and what they need, the responsibility aspect of it. What you all are talking about and making sure that your children and grandchildren know the process of voting and the impact. There's a relationship that's being tied, because a relationship with you that's being tied to their decisions on what to vote and what to look for when voting. I didn't have that. I can tell you right now, I didn't have that growing up. I never saw my parents voted. I still haven't seen them voted. No,
Wow.
never.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, it starts with you then.
Yeah,
You need
yeah, I was
to get
gonna
your
say-
parents
It did
out
start.
there.
It did start with me, but I
Right.
have to first develop my own personal relationship with the political system.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
But see,
Now, I'm taking a proactive step in doing that. That's not everybody's going to do that.
Right.
Just like with the money and stuff, I know we're going to talk about that later. People have to take an active interest in those things, and they just don't. That's just not natural in human behavior and psychology to do that. So that's another question we have to think about: is how do we inspire people to want to have the relationship?
and the thing about
with
it
the
is, man,
political system?
we need to talk more about our history than we do.
Exactly.
So every day and every minute of the day is a teaching moment, man. And we don't take advantage of that moment, of that minute. Because how many young people that you know their black history, know the history of their own people?
That brings another problem. There's so many representatives and states that are banning books.
Yep.
They're banning our
Well, they don't want
history.
you to know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's up to
Amen.
us.
Amen.
You can still buy those books.
Teach it
but
to
it's
home.
to us to buy
Teach it to home.
to buy the books for the kids
Absolutely.
and have them read
But
it.
you know what?
We knew our history before we went to school.
They got
You're
the
right.
most powerful tool. I ban the books. They ain't banning Google. They Google everything else on the phone.
That's true.
Well, guys, it's time for me to
Yep.
pay a couple of bills.
Oh,
And I want to
okay.
thank y'all. And then we're going to come back with two very, 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 very great guests. So if you are needing a mortgage and you live in the United States of America, we can get our hands to you. If you need a debt consolidation, home improvement loan, I need you to call 502-345-7018. Now, if you're needing a roof and it's water that's pouring through the ceiling, you think you're at Niagara Falls. It's not supposed to work like that. I need you to call 502-345-7018. If you are needing to advertise a small business, a corporate business, anything in America where you need to move a product, this podcast can do that for you. I need you to call 502-345-7018. If you're looking for Big Mo's World's Famous Barbecue, where a man or a woman can eat anything they can carry, you just stuff it down your throat and keep on rolling, because Big Mo's is good. Call 502-345-7018. If you need an ice cream truck, a coffee truck, you need to go to the ice cream store. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, 7525 Outer Loop. Call 502-345-7018. If you're in a car wreck and you need to be made whole again, you need to go see a specialist. Or if your leg is falling completely off,
Oh,
you
geez.
need to see one of our doctors. Call 502-345-7018. Since we're talking about car wrecks, Big Mike's Body Shop and Collision can put it back together and make it whole again. My friend Big Mike, call 552-4375. Big Mike can make it happen. Now, if you lose your mind and you start acting like Stacy Sewell, and she starts giving Jimmy Sewell problems at the house, what number do you need to call, Stacy? Who you need to talk to?
For all of your therapeutic services, you can reach me at 502-338-8406. I do in-person and telehealth, so I can see you no matter where you are.
All right. And Stacy, let me say this. Stacy is qualified. She has 16, 17, 18 different degrees, and she has been in an insane asylum at least 13 times. So she can tell you, help you on both sides of the coin. So just make sure you give her a call as well. And now we have some great guests. I got brother Jimmy Ray in the house.
Jim.
This-
Jimmy Ray. That's
Jimmy
a great
Ray.
name, by the way.
Looking
Jimmy
good.
Ray. That's a great name.
You know what? That sounds like an entertainer's name.
Yeah.
That
It
sounds
does.
like
Featuring Jimmy
yeah,
Ray.
featuring Jimmy Ray.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I
guess
wish I
who's
could
coming?
take credit for that name, but
Right.
Jimmy Ray's in the house.
House.
So,
Yeah.
Stacy, would you do the introduction to bring this brother out?
All right, so let me just give you a little background on Mr. Jimmy Ray. He has more than 15 years experience working in the sales and service industry. He started as a life insurance agent before gaining experience in the banking, investment, and ultimately becoming a financial advisor. He's provided financial coaching and guidance to thousands, worked for some of the biggest names in the industry, and has built a reputation for fiduciary excellence by
Money.
demonstrating his commitment towards putting the needs of others above all else. We talking about money. Let me
Mr. Jimmy Ray.
Yeah, I'm gonna rub up on you. Currently,
Mr. Jimmy Ray.
currently building his own independent advisory practice, Jimmy Ray Financial, in partnership with Core Planning, a move inspired by Jimmy's passion for providing equitable access to high-end financial planning services, investment options, and tax strategies. Jimmy Ray.
Give it up for
Hey,
brother Jimmy
Jimmy
Ray.
Ray.
Give it up. Give it up.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
glad to be welcomed.
Man, welcome.
I got to get to your level with the shades, though.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Now,
wanna be
I
like you
should
when
have
I grow
called
up.
you, Jimmy, and told you that I was wearing these. These are what we call Fantasia windows. Okay? Well, when I look in camera 13 right here, Fantasia can see me looking
Camera
at her,
13.
me looking at you, us looking at each other, us thinking about each other, us becoming one unit together, because our husband's getting ready to go. So, Fantasia, it's me looking at you. Go ahead, Jimmy Ray. I'm glad you brought that up.
You should have asked Fantasia, do she like your shirt buttoned up or open?
Well, I think Fantasia.
Yeah, answer that
at
question.
this-
Answer that.
Answer that question.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on,
he's
hold
been
on, hold
wondering.
on.
Answer that camera
Hold on.
13.
Come
when,
on.
when we off camera, okay, Fantasia, the single women who have been in the studio, we asked them if they like my shirt closed like this for you, or open up like this for you, and then what we've been able to
Close the
gather
shirt, man.
is
I
that
say Jimmy looks so uncomfortable over there.
what we've been able to gather is that
I'm trying to wonder if I need to keep mine open.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Jim.
is that any way will work for you because the love that we have. I know you got my emails. I know you got the phone calls, and the text messages, but you just haven't had time to respond to anything yet. I understand, and it was so great to see you in Louisville, Kentucky, at the Funk Fest, behind the scenes, feeding you those chicken wings. I will never experience. I forget when I passed you the barbecue sauce.
Can we talk about Jimmy
And how
Ray
you
now?
looked and how you looked at me. So, Jimmy Ray, this is what I want to say to her, and I want you to help me out too. It was an old song back in the day. It was called "Was Loving You Is Wrong."
I don't
Wanna
wanna be right.
So, Bruce, I'm gonna need your help on this. On 3, 1, 2, 3. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Put your hands
It
together.
is so
Come on.
wrong.
See, y'all gonna help me now?
No.
It is
no.
so
Oh, yeah.
wrong.
All right, okay.
It was a
All right,
solo.
I'm done.
It was
I'm done.
a
Let's bring
solo.
Brother Jimmy Ray.
You know what?
That was so wrong.
So wrong.
I was trying to add a little snap to it.
Let me-
Yeah.
Jimmy Ray gave you a snap.
And
All right.
Fantasia, I want you to know it ain't about money because I got friends with money right here. Jimmy Ray got
Absolutely.
money,
Yes, we do.
and he's here today to talk about money. So, Jimmy, how you doing today?
Living the dream, can't complain.
All right, Stacey, patient. Let's go to work. Let's talk about Jimmy Ray.
All right. So, Jimmy Ray, tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, which I already did your bio, but what do you want our listeners to know about you, your services that you're providing?
Ultimately, I just want them to know that I'm here and I'm available and I'm accessible. It's not about how much money they have, it's how much they want to keep and what they want that money to do for them in the future.
So do you do investing? Or what do you do?
Investing, I do insurance, I do financial planning. So my essential, what I like to do, I like to start with why. And I think about what it is or why it is that I do what I do. Everything that we accomplish in life is based on a decision. and it's based on how that decision is manifested, and it starts with inspiration. So essentially what I do is I inspire people to take the right action steps that's going to get them from where they are today to where they need to be and where they want to be years in the future. The financial tools, or the planning and all those things, those are all tools. As I like to say, money is a tool to use to get the things that we want in life. So those tools is what I use to employ the action steps to get them there, but it's really the inspiration of the actions that's going to ultimately get them there. And that's what I do.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I was going to say, so I know so many of us, we don't even know how to begin to save, how to begin to invest or whatever, because money's so tight. So if, let's just say you have an extra $2,000 and they're like, Jimmy, I don't know how to get started. What should I do with this $2,000? What would you suggest?
Good question.
Well, the first thing I would do is say, give me a call.
And what's your phone number?
How can they
What's
call
your
you?
phone number?
Well, I mean, phone number 502-410-9520. You can email me as well at jimmyray@coreplan. So COREPLN.com. So that would be the first step. All right. You want to get in touch with a professional advisor, because I could throw out a bunch of different things for you to do. Say, oh, you need to invest this, you need to buy this. But I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about your behaviors, your habits. I don't know anything about your whys, your goals, how long you have to have your money invested versus save, if you're going to need to buy a big house or another big purchase. I don't know anything about you to make any recommendations. So I say you need to talk to a professional advisor and let them get to know you. And you get to know them as well. So, right? It's a relationship. It's a two-way street. It's not a transaction.
That's amazing.
It reminds me of a knock-knock joke.
Oh.
Okay. All right, everybody, go with me now.
Okay,
Y'all work with me
We'll
on
play
this.
along.
Y'all
We'll
work
play
with me.
along.
Work
By the
with me.
way, by the way, this is
Knock,
in
knock.
Louisville, Kentucky. Who's there?
Who's there?
Jimmy Ray.
Jimmy Ray. Who?
Jimmy Ray making money and saving you money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty good.
I just want y'all to know,
No, it's in
I did not
Nashville.
ask him to do that.
Yeah, right. He did not pay for that marketing. He did not want that marketing.
But no, I think you're very. I understand where you're coming from, and that's a lot of people's position is they just don't know how to start, what to start. And there's so much information. I think people suffer from information overload, and it causes them to not take any action. And inaction, when it comes to money, is one of the worst things you can do. I like to tell. Sometimes they say, you know what? I think my money is better if I just leave it in a savings account because I won't lose money. I say, but you are losing money.
Right.
Before 2020, a bag of chips. I like to eat chips, y'all. So I like to use chips as a reference. Bag of chips was $1.29, and then just 1 year later, it was $2.69. So you're losing money no matter what you do. So I always say, get a reward for it.
Right.
You're gonna lose money, get a reward for it. At least make some money while you're losing it.
I was
Can't stop inflation, but you can earn something.
Now, I always heard that the easiest way to get ahead is to make money off your own money. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Like that. That's good.
If I go to work, how many hours do I have to work? Let's say I make $40 an hour. I wake up, I have 24 hours in the day. How many hours can I really afford to work? 8, 14? Say I decide not to sleep and work all 24, I can only make up to 24 hours worth of work. But there is no limit on how much money your money can make.
It's a good point.
Yep, it is.
Yep.
So what? Okay, so tell our listeners and us, what made you start this business? What plan came that made you be like, you know what, I'm going to start my own business and do this?
Yeah, in the industry, working as an advisor, one thing I noticed pretty quickly was the more successful I got, I had to face a dilemma. That dilemma was, in order to maintain that level of success, I either had to chase larger and larger and larger and larger and larger accounts to meet their quotas, or try to help the people chasing smaller accounts and risk just basically failing out, either because I couldn't make enough money or the company was going to fire me because they're like, you're not producing. You're not making the money that we need you to make. And I just got tired of that. I just felt like everyone deserves a plan, and everyone deserves access, as you heard, equitable access to high-quality financial planning and investment advice. It shouldn't be based on how much money. We can work around that. So I decided I'm done with this. I'm going to start my own practice, and I'm going to pursue the dreams that I want to and help the people that I want to help. Not let it be tied based on, oh, they got to have a bunch of money. You don't got to have a ton of money. You just got to have a vision, a goal, and the willingness to take action steps that I'm going to direct you on to help you get you from where you are to where you want to be.
Say for a grandchild that's in the 6th grade and you want to start a savings for his college fund, what would you recommend?
There are different types of accounts you can utilize. They're like specialized accounts for college funding, which can help with how you distribute that money later on. But I would start with a plan for how much you're going to budget to put towards that. And then we identify the type of accounts you need to do. And then we stick to that plan. And we adjust that plan as things change in your life, because maybe they don't want to go to college. Right? What if you save all this money for them to go to college, and 20 years later, they're like, Grandma, I ain't going to college.
That's where Big Mo comes in. You can give me some of the money.
Yeah.
You can give me some of the money.
So you would so that means you wouldn't start a fund that's for a kid that's going to college, because some savings are based on that.
Some savings are based on college things. You still have options, but again, that's why it's important to do a more of what I call a thorough analysis, because, that's something to consider. A lot of people are pouring a lot of money into these college accounts, but they don't know that there are other accounts out there that that could be utilized for college spending, but aren't necessarily designated for that. Gives you a little bit more flexibility.
So how does a person do that when you want to when you don't know where to put your money, but you want to put some money somewhere for even late retirement, grandkids, yourself? How do they get that meeting, that analysis schedule? What do they have to do? And is it free?
Yeah, so most people, including myself, so the process is very simple, right? We always want to start with an introductory meeting where we sit down, we talk a high level about what it is that you're looking to accomplish and how long you have until you, and how long you have until you're ready to accomplish those things. But once it's established that we're going to be working together, we do an analysis that involves gathering up the information. So that could be gathering up your accounts, your statements, and seeing where your money is flowing currently, doing a budget. Oh, I use the big B word. Doing a budget, right? But it's important to gather the data, because I can't make recommendations on how you should be moving with your money if I don't know where your money is already going now, right? So once I do the analysis and gather all the information I do, then I can make recommendations. I can give you a checklist of things to do. Then we set a meeting schedule so we know how to follow through with the information on that checklist. Because sometimes somebody hand you a plan and says, okay, go do this. What's the chances that you're going to actually take it and go do it?
Right.
Very slim.
Very slim.
Very slim.
But
It's going to sit on my kitchen table until I get time.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I'm there to hold your hand and somewhat, not to say keep you accountable, but keep you accountable, the chances of you following through on those recommendations now exponentially higher.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a little bit of a differentiation between me and maybe some other cats out there, is that I'm willing to do that work for no additional costs once we have a plan agreement in place.
And Jimmy Ray, I keep looking at your rings and your cufflinks. I see money. You know what I'm saying? But put that on camera 13. But put it on. That is very unique. That is very. I like that. I like the way it looks. The bracelets in there. Oh yeah. Can you put it on 13?
Hold on,
Camera
you guys
13.
have matching bracelets.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, James.
Yeah, you got matching bracelets.
Did we get it from the same place?
Mine's are cheap. I got mine. Let me tell you. I got these two
In the middle of the mall.
and a watch for $10 on the cruise ship.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But this right here, this is real.
These were
It's
$50
real.
each.
Yeah. He got on the LeBron series. Yeah, the LeBron James series.
I'm not mad at you, though. Hey, listen, I showed up here today for this thing, but you can catch me wearing Walmart head to toe.
Come on, man. Come on.
Preach.
Come on.
Walmart
Come
and
on.
Amazon.
It's not the designer, honey. You make the clothes. The
That's
clothes
it.
don't make you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I came show out here today, but no, you can catch me. My friends know me. They tease me all the time. I'm Walmart head to toe.
Wally World is okay.
And Jimmy Ray, you are everywhere, not just in the financial field. You know, you with the young professional group.
Yes.
And you're the president over there running that group, and you
Louisville
guys got
Urban League.
a ton of members.
Yeah, so I've been trying to grow the Louisville Urban League Young Professionals membership, working with our affiliate, the Louisville Urban League. Shout out to the Louisville Urban League for that opportunity to do that. We're really focused on membership. Oh, by the way, we have a Derby Gala coming up, if you don't know about that. So check that out.
Who's coming?
Oh, they got Manny Fresh and a few other people like that.
You know I sang, Jimmy Ray.
You know what?
I sang.
I got a snippet of what you was just singing just a moment ago.
But I wasn't loose. I got to drink coffee and tea, and I really get down.
Do you get down?
And my gold chain. My gold chain.
So
Fantasia, coming at you, baby. Yeah, but I do a little something, Jimmy. Right?
I do a little something.
And whenever you need.
League is having a derby gala.
Yes.
And they're coming. You don't really have the whole lineup yet. I'll give you that.
So if you go to lul.org, the front, as soon as you go to that website.
And they always have a good concert every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
They always, because I never pay. I always sneak in at the end.
I know. I'm
So I'm scared.
Yeah, right.
You know, we always got to put a bid in. And
Yeah.
Mo always say, I'm always asking for a discount. I am.
Yep.
Listen,
As-
the closed mouth can't get fed, right?
As
Amen.
Discount Stacy, who lives in a gated community. Discount Stacy.
Listen,
And
I need to save all my coins.
Listen, she's good with her money. That's why she's
Right,
in a
right,
gated
Jimmy,
community.
right?
I know that's right. But Jim, let me go back to you real quick, because we've talked about money and really how money works. And you said something that was very, very interesting to me. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you can save.
Correct.
Can you add on to that just a little bit?
I'll give you this quick thing I used to say. If you take somebody, and I'm going to use numbers now. Now, numbers are a little difficult to say on podcast, but just kind of bear with me. But if you take somebody and they say, let's say $50,000 a year, right, for 5 years, right, they're going to have some money, and assume they're earning very little rate of return on that money, all right? Stay with me. But you take somebody who's saving $1,000 a year for the same time period, but they're earning, let's say, 10% on that money, way more on that money than the other person. Who's going to have more money?
The person with $1,000.
That's right. Oh, the person with $1,000. So if you do the quick math and just do $50,000 times, let's say, 5 years, and then you compare it against the person that's saving $1,000 times 5 years, who has more money?
The one that's got the bigger amount.
The one who saves more has more.
That's right.
Right? That's the math. The one who saves more has more. And I can show you that math in every occurrence. The person who saves more, see, a lot of times people think that the financial markets, the stock market, et cetera, they think that that's going to supplement people's lack of savings. But it doesn't. The stock market is there to serve what you do. So in other words, people who save more, the stock market is going to be rewarding for those people.
Yeah.
But the people that save less, the stock market is actually going to be worse for them. So the person that saves more has more. And that's what I try to get people to understand. It's your savings rate, how much, how often, and how long you save for, that determines your level of financial success in the future. Not what the markets do. The market's going to do what they do.
Let me get this right. You're going to give me $50,000 a year for 5 years. So me and Fantasia can have some additional income, and you're going to invest that at 14% using the rule of 72. The way money multiplies based on time and consistency, me and Fantasia are going to be able to live a happy life. That's what you just said, Jimmy Ray. Thank you. We're getting set up, baby. We're getting set up. Jimmy Ray's here.
Jimmy,
We got you, Fantasia.
right. Tell us again how we can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so I'm very easy to find. I am all over the place.
All over.
And remember, this is nationwide, so get it out there. Get your phone number, your email,
He's
get everything
all
out.
over the country. Jimmy Ray.
I'm all
Yes.
over the country. I really, back to real quick before the thing what I'm trying to do with the urban league young professionals, especially in Louisville, is what I recognize is that we have a lot of different people doing a lot of different things, but they're not talking to each other. They're not working with each other.
Right.
They're operating in their own individual spaces, almost in a competitive way, unnecessarily.
Right.
So I said, I want to find a way to get these people together in one room, one space, to start working with each other, start collaborating. We can be so much more effective and have such a stronger impact if we were to just work together. So I just want to throw that out there.
Stronger
Amen.
together.
Stronger together.
Yep.
502-410-9520. Send me a text, send me a call, email at my professional email address at Jimmy Ray, JIMMYRAY at COREPLN.com. That's Jimmy Ray at CorePLN.com. Best way to reach me. Of course, you can find me everywhere. Jimmy Ray the third on Instagram, spelled out. Jimmy Ray, the number 3 on LinkedIn. I'm all over the place.
Yep.
Man, I
Thank
want to
you
thank
so
you for
much.
joining us
Yes.
today, man. Nothing but good information as usual.
Thanks, sir.
And man, and just thank you for being a blessing to this community.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And to the
yeah,
Thank you.
man. We got another superstar
We
in the
do.
house.
We
But before
do.
we do that, I just want you guys to know I opened my shirt and I put some beads on, and I like the way I look. It looks really good to me. So I just want your thoughts. So give them the website, Stacey, where they can sign up and follow us, and they can talk about how sexy this look is on me right now. So go, Stacey.
www.communityconnectionsgrp.org. Again, that's www.communityconnectionsgrp.org.
And we need you to like and subscribe too. So like and
Absolutely.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe. That's right.
Yes.
Put your email in there so we can keep you involved with everything, the newsletters, everything we're doing. And then let me know if you like this open like this with these beads and my glasses.
We're going to
And
take
then-
a poll.
And then when I
on
put my
social
glasses
media.
up, I want you to know.
We need a Facebook poll.
I just want you guys to know, all across the country, my eyes change colors. These
do.
are real eyes, and I want you to let me know what's happening because me and Bruce are opening up a company.
Poor Bruce.
Bruce is heavy breathing over
And
there, by the way,
this
guys.
is for women, any woman that weighs 275 or more.
Okay.
It's called Baby Oil and Us. We will come out anywhere in the United States and put baby oil on your back and do personal massages. Bruce?
Hey,
man,
Bruce, wait a minute,
I'm not mad
Stacey.
at
Wait a
you.
minute.
I'm not either. We need to manage
Yes,
them. I think,
exactly.
Frazier, you and I will be
Yes.
the managers, and we'll book
Yes.
for them because I think we can make some big money off of
Yes.
Look,
I
use
do
me.
too.
Use
Well,
me.
we'll
But-
use
because
you.
I'm telling you now, the money that I make, I'm giving it to Jimmy Ray to
Yep.
invest that money to put me in a position to win.
Yep.
I got a retirement coming up soon. So
You're right.
The only
Yeah.
problem is James will pay somebody to do his work.
them.
though.
You know, exactly. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Look, Bruce is going to do all the
Know him
labor.
Oh, so well.
Bruce, get out the biofreeze,
Bruce's
honey.
hands are stronger than mine. You know, I'll tell you that. Bruce works out every day. But I like to go to restaurants and eat. So while Bruce is doing your back, I'll take the next person
what?
to eat.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
hear what Bruce has to say with
Go
all
ahead.
this. He's just grinning. So, Bruce, how do you feel about this?
Bruce Ray is not involved in this organization.
All right.
right.
Let's bring AP in, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah. Angela Parker, hello. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You are a board member of Community Connections Group. You're a longtime a medical field nurse. You just got a new position out there where you're making all that money, so you need to give Jimmy Ray some of that money and make a donation to Community Connections Group. But you're here today to talk about a program you guys have rolled out, a financial literacy program. Can you introduce yourself first and then tell us about this program?
My name is Angela Parker.
AP is what we call her.
AP in the house.
My name is Angela Parker. I've been a nurse for 32 years and recently received a promotion as a health and wellness director.
32 years, AP? I didn't know you was that old.
You know I've known Angela forever, right? Like, since the day I got out of nursing school, I met Angela. She was my
AP,
first job.
You had on, I got skinny jeans on. Me and Bruce wear skinny jeans. You had on some skinny jean leggings yesterday. You didn't look like you've been nursing for 32 years, girl.
Oh, making it
you
work.
holding it now. You holding it, girl.
Well, she's got cute boots
yeah,
on today,
yeah.
too.
You
In
holding
the
it, girl.
healthcare field, you have to keep yourself up, stay in shape, and maintain wellness.
Amen.
Okay,
Amen.
there you
Amen.
go.
Amen.
But I'm a board member for a Community Connections Group, and I also volunteer for the financial literacy program.
Well, let's give you a hand for that. Thank you so
Woohoo.
much.
We're teaching young men 13 to 17 about financial literacy, and it involves banking 101, reading comprehension preparation for college, managing money, savings, and investing, preparing for adulthood, credit, borrowing, renting versus owning, insurance and taxes. And also, James and some of the other men that are experienced in this life are also teaching the young men life lessons, like how to present themselves out in public, what to do if they've been stopped by the police, just how to act in general, going to work. You may not want to go to college, but you can start your own business. So we have people talking to them about that as well. And also good work ethics, being on time. They say if you're on time for work, you're late. So you have to be there 10 to 15 minutes early if possible. Just how to act around people, not be stupid, keeping your pants up.
So with all that going on down there at 2500 Montgomery Street at
In
the
Louisville,
community
Kentucky.
in Louisville, Kentucky, at the Community Connections Group headquarters, how are the young men perceiving this course? Because they're showing up each week.
Each week
So,
they're
so
showing
and that's
up.
the big part. They're showing up so we can give them some hope. Go
They're
ahead.
engaged. They're participating. They get. There was a young man that asked them on. We have laptops, and he asked them to look up their favorite car. So they looked up their favorite car, and they saw the prices. So he presented to them, well, how are you going to pay for this? You need a down payment, or how much interest. And also, he was also promoting good credit. And he taught them good credit. You have to pay your bills on time. You have to not be late. It's just maintaining everything in the way it's supposed to be. And getting savings, doing a budget, and also not getting credit cards when you go to college.
Yeah.
That's number
That's
one
the
up
big plus.
there,
That's the
yeah.
first thing they do.
Yep.
Is give you those cards. But it's really been a blessing for these young men for us to be able to put these speakers and presenters in front of these guys, because the choices and decisions that we make today will affect us for a lifetime.
Amen.
And so we won't, and we understand. We had one kid stand up and say, "Listen, you guys are teaching me all this stuff I didn't know, but when I go to school, I got 20 gangs in my school.
Yeah.
So now I got to decide, do I want to fight or do I need to join one of these gangs?" So we brought some gang experts in to talk to them about roles and choices and responsibility and how to handle that. But it's rough because these kids are dealing with more than we had to deal with growing up. And it's really changed, Jimmy Ray. It's changed a whole lot. Bruce and Stacy, and just kind of give me your input on that, because if you're forced to go into a school setting and you're already scared when you get to school, you're scared when you ride the bus, how are these kids learning?
They're not. That's the problem. Look at our test scores. The test scores says it all. When we look at the environment and your surroundings have such a huge impact on our children that they can't even focus on learning in school, because they worried about, when I leave out of this class, what's going to happen between I go from second period to third period, or what's going to happen when I leave and go home. And then we also don't know about what's going on in their households. So when we think about these things, that is why it's so important for our literacy program. Because we're teaching kids that you may not be getting this at home and you might not be getting it at school, but we're going to give it to you here at Community Connections. Right? And so we're educating them on things that they have no clue about. If your parents don't know anything about financial literacy, checking account, there's so many grown people running around here right now without a checking account. I'm so sick of people saying, "Oh, I got a chime card." What? Okay.
Right.
I mean, how are you cashing? If I wrote you a check, how would you go cash it? You don't even have a bank account.
Hey,
it doesn't make sense to me.
But you know what my saying used to be? Can't nobody hold my money better than me. And you know what? I got to admit, I was one of them people. And the only reason why I had to get a checking account was because my money went direct deposit. That's the only reason.
So prior to when you was getting paper checks, you didn't care about having a checking account.
Man, come on.
Okay.
I put my money in Folger cans.
Okay.
We had a young man yesterday that one of the teachers asked how their classes were run, if they were organized. And the students stated that for the majority of the kids that want to learn, they can learn, and the teachers are interested in teaching them. But the ones that don't want to learn, they don't put in any extra effort to help them or to guide them to want to learn or what to do. So the buck kind of stops with the teachers. Also, I don't know if they're frustrated, if they're scared, or what.
I think they're afraid. Because they
I
have
think
so
it's a
many fights.
combination. Yeah,
they fighting students. I think they're afraid.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that we know that the teachers went to school for this and have degrees for this, but education starts at home.
And speaking of degrees for teaching, you're not going to have that anymore. Some of the teaching areas, you just need a high school diploma. That's another bill they're passing up in Frankfurt right now.
That's terrible.
So
I personally think it's terrible. You know, it used to be a teacher's aide, which means you was in the classroom with the teacher and you assisted them because you didn't have the credentials. And now they're so desperate for teachers that they're lowering the standards that's needed for you to become a teacher. If we start lowering our standards, what do you think is going to happen?
yeah.
Our education system is already
it's already broken.
Well,
right.
And you brought up a good thing with teachers' aides. You know, the teachers' aides are some of the first ones that get cut in the school, and they're some of the most important positions.
I just noticed how long your hair was too.
Oh, you
got
like that?
beautiful hair.
Oh, thanks.
A lot of
Appreciate
people
it.
didn't know that I had an afro back in the day. I just
Hold on,
wanted to
it's
say
my
that to
spotlight.
Fantasia.
Hold on,
Fantasia,
James, this is my spotlight.
Okay,
right now.
okay.
Camera, focus on me.
Look at her hair.
Yes, thank you, James. I
The
appreciate
hair is glowing and it has body and it has a nice flow.
Thank
but,
you.
If you knew me back in, I'm gonna say 75, when everybody was driving a deuce and a quarter, Lecter 225, we go way back. My fro was like this.
Angela, is that true?
My
Did
fro
you
was
know
like
back
this.
then?
He was a baby.
He was
my fro was like this. My fro was
Listen,
like this.
Angela's gonna call him out.
And it was lopsided. They had to pat it down, to get it right. Like what's Angela Davis? She had a fro.
Oh my
so I had a
gosh.
fro like that back in the day. So
Well, we don't have much longer left for this
I just
podcast.
want to talk
so
about
let's,
my hair.
I know you want to talk about a lot of things, James, but let's reel it
I
back
want to
in.
talk about my hair.
Yeah.
So our literacy program, though, we did not expect to have such an overwhelming response to the program. We thought, hey, we get about 30 kids in, and now we're over 200 with a waiting list of over 200. The good thing is we want to tell you all it's not too late. If you live here in Louisville, Kentucky, you can sign your child up. Once we get through with this group of guys, we rotate out, the next ones come in. So even if it's sometime at the end of the summer or in December, your child will still be part of the program. So reach out to us at www.communityconnectionsgrp.org to sign your baby up.
And while you're on that website, if you want to make a donation.
It's a 9-week program, so put that on your calendar as well.
Yeah, it's 9
Saturday
weeks.
mornings.
All right, and while you're on there, if you want to donate to help feed our kids while we have them there with us, or any way you want to help out, no donation is too small or too big. Go to the website. It's all tax deductible. So don't forget.
Yep.
Continue to give.
We feed them a breakfast snack and they get lunch. And it's from 8:30 to 11:30.
Every Saturday for the next 3 years.
And listen, if you sign your baby up, I'm sorry, but you have to be obligated to be part of the program too. You have to make sure your child gets there in a timely manner by the time that the day it starts the morning. So as a parent, we have support obligation in this to make sure that this is successful for your child. So if you sign your child up and your child is part of our program, please set your schedule aside to make sure that they're there on time and they're picked up after the program.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Jimmy
So
Ray,
we greatly appreciate
Do
that.
y'all need volunteers?
we always need
Yes,
volunteers.
as I say,
That's
Jimmy
why I was
Ray's
getting ready to
perfect.
ask you.
Try to tee it up for you.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
We need you.
Any final thoughts, Jimmy Ray?
Listen, I think all this is great. And I think we're having a very powerful and much needed discussion about education, about financial literacy, about the state of the union, about the state of the country, and the importance of voting. So I really applaud and very happy to be a part of the discussion.
Well, thank you for
thank you
coming
so
today.
very much.
AP,
Wonderful
any final
information.
thoughts?
No, God bless you all and stay safe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Before they wrap it up, camera one, come back to me. We're going to vote on the website if my shirt should be open or closed.
Facebook,
For all the
Community
single
Connections.
women out there in the country,
Yes.
I just need you guys to let me know which way you think Big Mo is the
Do
sexiest.
you want him to be closed or show his taco meat?
Yeah. So
You want him to be Sigma Mo or Normal Mo?
You know what? We got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Our time is up here, and it goes by so fast because we have so much fun. But our time's up. Until next week, the mic's on you.
And subscribe on the website.
Yes.
Subscribe,
one
like,
job.
we need
One
you.
job.
Get it.
A lot of it is listening.
We can't legislate people's hearts,
Sometimes being part of the conversation is so challenging that people avoid it altogether.
but we can't check their behavior.
Speak out on the street.
We need to come together and figure out how to have these conversations.